Your sexuality and your sexual energy is something that you use to connect, to bond to things. The complicated dynamic comes in when a man is constantly looking at all these porn images, lusting over all these women, jerking off to them, and just scattering his sexual energy. Hey guys, I'm Jonathan White. I'm here to help you master your sexual energy so you can manifest your ideal life. If you want to learn more about sexual mastery, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to stay notified when I release new videos and go live. Make sure you get my free ejaculation control course through the link in the video description below. In this video, I'm going to explain how porn destroys relationships. So first of all, if you're not aware of the massive epidemic, which is worldwide porn addiction in modern men, check out my other videos on porn addiction, as this is a huge problem that modern men are facing, which is destroying their sexual vitality and their actual enjoyment of sex and their ability to connect with others. So it's fairly normal in this world that we live in for men to be constantly watching porn and jerking off to porn even while they're in a relationship with someone. And this is something that tends to cause serious issues and even destroy the relationship over time. It's almost inevitable when this is occurring that it will cause some serious harm and damage, often unrepairable damage, to the relationship. And the whole thing is that understanding that your sexuality and your sexual energy is something that you use to connect, to bond to things. And typically in an intimate relationship, there's this deep bonding between you and your partner. But the complicated dynamic comes in when a man is constantly looking at all these porn images, lusting over all these women, jerking off to them, and just scattering his sexual energy. So it no longer becomes this intimate exchange of his energy with the partner. His sexual energy is scattered through all these lustful fantasies, all these porn sites, and it creates a very complicated dynamic in the relationship because your partner starts to feel this. Women are very, very intuitive, and they feel when you're not really there, when you're scattering your sexual energy, when you're connected with some other image, some fantasy elsewhere. They can feel that your presence is no longer there and something feels off, something feels wrong. And this often manifests as issues in the bedroom as well, because to be constantly jerking off to porn wreaks havoc on your dopamine receptors. And what usually happens is that normal day-to-day sex with your partner will never be as exciting as this hardcore porn that you're watching every day. So it overstimulates you. It hacks into your arousal response in your body so that you require more and more intense levels of sexual stimulation just to feel aroused. And this often manifests very commonly now as what's known as porn-induced erectile dysfunction, where you are unable to have an erection during sex. And this happens to men who are very healthy, they're young, and on a physical level, nothing should be wrong with their penis, but because their dopamine receptors and their arousal chemistry is completely out of balance, they are unable to maintain an erection during sex. This is becoming a very common issue for men. And it often makes the woman feel that she's not attractive to the man, that she's doing something wrong. And again, it just leads to more and more problems. Another issue that arises in relationships when the man's constantly watching porn is that a deeper sense of connection is often lost in the relationship because porn conditions men to be very visually oriented, to be very fixated on body parts, skin, just the completely physical aspects of sex. And he tends to be completely focused on, again, the visual aspects of sex, maybe even fantasizing about the porn he's watching while he's with his partner. So this leads to a deep disconnection from the heart. No emotional connection, no deeper feeling or intertwining of energy, just a simple lustful attempt to get off. And this is what sex becomes for a lot of people. And eventually that dries up. Eventually it loses its excitement when it's completely based on looking at someone's skin, basically. And what that usually leads to is simply the man looking for someone else or his partner looking for someone else, trying to find someone who's new and exciting to get that initial excitement of new body parts until the excitement wears off again. And not to say if this is how you choose to engage in relationships, that's fine, it's your path, but you never get to deeper levels of energetic connection, of intimacy, of spiritual connection and growth together when sex is all about exciting new body parts. And it's also important to understand that even if you're single, porn can destroy the relationship you have to yourself, to your own body, because it puts you in this habit of completely unconscious masturbation where you're just staring into a screen, one hand's holding the phone, the other hand's on your dick, you're jerking off. This is the extent of your sexual experience. You're completely disconnected from your body. You're gaining nothing from it. You're simply impulsively releasing your life force, getting a quick ejaculatory orgasm just to get off. Then you usually feel quite numb and empty afterwards. So you want to do that again or find something else to try to fill that void. And it leads to this downward spiral. So now I want to share some tips for you if you have been experiencing this, or maybe your partner is doing this and you want to overcome this issue of porn that's invading into the relationship. So the first step is it's important that you stop consuming porn. Porn is more addictive than opiates. A lot of studies have shown this. And the biggest problem is that it's so easily available to every single person on planet Earth who has, a smartphone or a computer. It's there 24/7, completely free. So you're going to want to take steps to remove this from your life. I've made other videos on overcoming porn addiction. I definitely recommend checking those out. But basically, you want to replace your porn habit with something else. Something that makes you feel good in a natural way without a lot of the negative drug-like effects that porn has on your system. Some examples would be physical exercise. If you're usually watching porn at 7 o'clock every night, try going to the gym instead, doing a workout, or going for a hike. Learning a new hobby, something that helps you channel your creative energy, that's challenging for you, will be a very good replacement for your porn habit. In fact, creative outlets, creating art, learning to play a musical instrument, writing poetry, any of these kinds of things helps you to stimulate that creative aspect. Porn addiction often arises simply from feeling boredom and having no real outlet for your creative energy. And so when you start to engage your creative faculties, put your energy into something else, you will be less likely to turn to porn. And really it comes down to self-control, self-discipline. You simply have to be able to say no to something even if you have the desire to do it. And training in physical exercise, qigong, martial arts, meditation helps you to really build this discipline and willpower. If it's your partner who has this issue, if your partner's consuming porn and you feel like it's damaging your relationship, it's very important that you communicate to them about this. I recommend that you share this video with them, set boundaries about this. Tell them that you feel that it's not okay for them to be masturbating and sending their sexual energy off to some random strangers on the internet, because it is damaging your relationship. And if you're simply allowing your partner to do this, it's contributing to the problem as well. So you have to be able to set strong boundaries, communicate what your needs and your boundaries are, and stick to them, and not enable your partner to continue this habit that's damaging the relationship and let them walk all over your boundaries. One final point I want to make is a lot of people tell me, well, I'm watching conscious porn that focuses on loving connection between partners. And sure, if you're going to watch porn, it's probably better for you. Maybe this is like comparing drinking alcohol versus shooting heroin. It still comes down to the question of, why do you need to watch other people having sex in a state where you're probably still staring at the screen with your hand on your dick? You're still consuming porn. It's still completely messing with your dopamine receptors. No matter how conscious it is, no matter how, the context of it, it can still be very damaging to your own connection to your body and to your relationship. I recommend having zero porn, not from any sort of morality standpoint, like it's a sin or something like that, but simply from the fact that it completely messes up your arousal chemistry. It creates an overstimulating arousal in your body that can only be resolved through ejaculation. It's difficult for you to truly connect with your body and your sexual energy when you're watching porn. Simple as that. If you want more resources on overcoming porn habits and learning more about why this is damaging, check out my porn addiction playlist. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to my channel, give this video a like, and leave a comment below. Have a great day, my friends.